When you think of Japanese food, it's most likely that sushi or ramen come to mind first, but there is a whole plethora of different types of food to try when you visit or live in Japan. A lot of them will be unfamiliar to people from outside of Asia, and perhaps even outside of Japan. You'll be sure to run across some local delicacies when you visit that you have no idea what they are, but my advice is to be brave. More times than not, it actually turns out to be delicious. Today we're going to look at horumon. Now this is a bit strange because in English the word hormone has a very different meaning. One might wonder, how exactly do people eat hormones? Of course the Japanese meaning is different. The Japanese word horumon is derived from the same word with the intended meaning of stimulation. The name horumon is also similar to the Japanese Kansai dialect term horumon, which means discarded goods. In Japan, these cuts of meat are seen as a good way to restore stamina and nutrients to the body and fit in very well with the Japanese mentality of mottainai, avoiding wastefulness, which values using every part of the animal for cooking. So, in essence, horumon dishes are made with beef and pork offal. Not awful. Well, usually not. There are a bunch of different kinds of horumon, including gari, which is the esophagus, reba, which is liver, harami or sagari, which is diaphragm, mame, which is the kidney, hatsu, which is beef heart, kobukuro, which is pig uterus, shibire, which is the pancreas, and teppo, which is the rectum. Now, none of those sound very appealing to me, but I found the most popular and perhaps the tastiest is Shiro, or beef intestine, which this video will concentrate on. This type of horumon can be broken down into two parts. Marucho. This cut is the cow's small intestine, which is turned inside out before cut into pieces. As this preparation keeps the fattier portion of the intestine on the inside, marucho prepared this way ends up more tender and juicier than ones not turned inside out before cooking. It is the most widely approved cut for horumon enthusiasts and is high in collagen, which is why it's one of the favorite cuts among women seeking to improve their skin. And shimacho, which is the large intestine, or more specifically, the more tender section of the organ with ridges of fat on it. It's thicker and tougher than marucho, but there are many people who prefer it due to its unique texture. It also contains large amounts of collagen and is moderately sweet, so it is a very popular cut in yakiniku restaurants. For the record, both of these types of horumon are relatively inexpensive. Horumon dishes exist all over Japan, and there are various ways to prepare it, such as stewing or boiling. However, perhaps the most famous horumon dish is Horumon-Yaki, and it's grilled, usually at an izakaya or Japanese-style pub, or a yakiniku or Japanese barbecue restaurant. For more information on yakiniku or Japanese barbecue itself, please check out my other video in the link above or in the comment section below. In these restaurants, you usually grill the raw, sometimes marinated horumon on a gas or charcoal fire right at your table. Cooking yakiniku at your table is a lot of fun, so I highly recommend it for the experience. Now, when grilling Shiro horumon, you have to be careful as it often flares up due to the high fat content. But you needn't worry, it's all good in the end, and the parts that catch on fire are really delicious. There are also usually dipping sauces that you can try, but I prefer just salt. Another horumon dish you can try is Motsu-Yaki. In this dish, pieces of horumon are mixed with moyashi or bean sprouts, cabbage, and other vegetables and are cooked in a savory sauce. In this restaurant, we were able to cook it right at our table with a tabletop, gas-powered grill. It takes a bit of time to get it sizzling, but once it's going nicely, simply stir it until it's done. At this restaurant, once you're almost finished, the staff bring a serving of noodles to cook at the end. The noodles suck up and are coated with all the delicious sauce and fat from the horumon, along with a little more sauce. And are a great way to finish the dish. One very popular horumon dish is called Motsu-Nabe. In Japan, nabe in general is sort of like a soup packed full of vegetables, meat, fish, and seasonal items. Motsu-Nabe naturally features horumon as the star. You are usually also able to cook nabe at your table, and the same is true for Motsu-Nabe. In most restaurants, the staff will bring you the raw ingredients for your Motsu-Nabe, arranged nicely in a nabe pot to be cooked on a gas-powered stove. This one has cabbage, chives, garlic, and of course, horumon. There's also some tofu to be added later. It's really simple to cook. Simply turn on the stove, the staff will usually do that for you, and wait until everything starts cooking. If you think the temperature is too high or low, you can easily adjust the flames. Once it's going for a bit, simply stir or arrange things so that they all cook evenly in the broth. Add the tofu towards the end. And you serve the finished nabe in small bowls that are easy to refill. I personally find Motsu-Nabe tasty, but the soup becomes a little too oily for what I like in broths. One more way to enjoy horumon is to try Horumon Tempura, or age horumon, which are two styles of deep-fried horumon. This is some I picked up from a food truck the other day, and this was from a popular chain of izakayas in my city. While good, I prefer the first three types of horumon dishes to these ones. Overall, though, I believe I was lucky enough to try this relatively strange, at least for me, dish while in Japan. It really is delicious. What about you? Are you brave enough to try it? What's your opinion about it? Please let everyone know in the comments below. Now, on to try another food from Japan that you probably wouldn't order, but you should. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more interesting tidbits from Japan.